Does the absence of guidance for September, I assume you expected such a question, mean the Governing Council is equally open to another hike, to a pause, or even to the conclusion that rates have already reached their peak? That would be the first. And the second one, I'm wondering how much of your decision on lowering the remuneration of minimum reserves has been, or how much of that was driven by concerns over central bank losses? Thank you.
Thank you very much for your two questions. You know what, let me just remind you what we have been doing, and I'll come to your interest, which is what happens next. But let me just...
La pregunta del millón, ¿no? ¿Qué va a hacer el Banco Central Europeo en septiembre? Lagarde ha dicho, déjame que primero te explique qué es lo que hemos estado haciendo hasta ahora. Es decir, que primero va a explicar lo que se ha hecho en el pasado y luego ya va a ir a responder la pregunta. Pero vamos a ver qué dice Lagarde.
That has been taken in a matter of 1 year. So invariably, one meeting after the other, we have raised rates. The DFR is now at 375. And this decision that was unanimously agreed amongst all members of the Governing Council is driven by one key determination, which is to bring inflation to target. Our target, which is medium-term inflation. There is unanimous determination to do so. What have we decided as well? And I'll come to your minimum remuneration because that was your second question. We have also decided, and I'm going to quote because it's a sentence that you might hear over and over, not this time, next time, and future times. We say, our future decisions will ensure that the key ECB interest rates will be set at sufficiently restrictive levels for as long as necessary to achieve a timely return of inflation to our 2% medium-term target. So some of you may have noticed a slight change of a verb. And that is not just random or irrelevant. And I think it's predicated on our determination to be data dependent. So I have said on many occasions that we had ground to cover, or we have more ground to cover. What I'm saying here is that data and our assessment of data will actually tell us whether and how much ground we have to cover. So we are deliberately data dependent, and we have an open mind as to what the decisions will be in September and in subsequent meetings, because this determination based on data might vary from one month to the other. So we might hike and we might hold. And what is decided in September is not definitive. It may vary from one meeting to the other. So I hope it's very clear that we are not in the domain of forward guidance, but we are very strongly rooted in our determination to break the back of inflation and to take inflation back to 2% medium term on a sustainable basis. And to do that, we will be informed by data, we will analyze the data, and we will then decide at that point in time, we will have the inflation outlook, we will have 2 readings of inflation with all the underlying dissection and understanding of it, and we will have even more understanding of our monetary policy transmission. And that will be repeated every governing council after every governing council so that we can make sure that, as I said, we break the back of inflation. Now, on your second question, our primary job is to set...
Christine Lagarde deja la puerta abierta, acaba de hacer la respuesta más importante probablemente de toda la comparecencia del día de hoy. ¿Deja la puerta abierta a subir los tipos o no? en septiembre. Dicen que tienen mente abierta sobre la decisión que tienen que tomar en septiembre, pero eso sí dicen, no va a ser una decisión que vaya a ser definitiva. También ha dicho mente abierta con la decisión de septiembre, pero también con las de las siguientes reuniones. Da la sensación de que, por tanto, por las palabras que está escogiendo Christine Lagarde en la manera en la que nos dice qué va a hacer en septiembre, no quiere tampoco dar a entender que puede que se esté inclinando más hacia una subida o hacia una no subida de tipos, a mantener los tipos donde están. Incluso podríamos interpretar, si leemos entre líneas, que Christine Lagarde nos puede estar diciendo que podrían no subir los tipos, pero que eso no quiere decir que no lo vayan a volver a hacer en siguientes reuniones, que puede ser que en septiembre no suban los tipos de interés, pero quién sabe si pueden hacerlo de cara a próximas reuniones hasta finales del año 2023. Lagarde, palabras textuales, mente abierta con la decisión de septiembre y con las siguientes decisiones de otras reuniones de tipos de interés en el Banco Central Europeo. Dice también Lagarde que lo que se decida en septiembre no va a ser definitivo. Más preguntas.